Saturday, 3/28/2026 has been a very frustrating day so far. A lot of equipment malfunctions. This just happened as I was trying to get set up for this. I figured we'll throw this in there as well. A little tripod freak show. Something is not right here. There it goes. Okay, so today I have been battling with all sorts of equipment problems with these cameras. So as of about a month ago, no, more than that, I would say 2 to 3 months ago, I started having an issue with the camera where I would import the video into the computer and there would be a couple of, I would say maybe a quarter of a second of a blip in the video where all of the frames just go black and the picture disappears, but the audio is fine. Very strange glitch. And that when that happens, the video editor just crashes out and can't handle it. So then I have to find out by counting the number of frames or converting the number of frames into minutes and seconds in the video, finding that point in the video, cutting that point of the video out as best as I can without, leaving a gap in the video, and then re-rendering it. That's happened a couple of times over the last few months, maybe 4 or 5 times it's happened. In the last week, it's happened twice, so the frequency is increasing. Today was the worst it's ever been. I filmed a video, which fortunately is a video I can re-record. Some of these videos, I can't re-record them. If I repair something or restore something, it's not going to re-break it or re-dirty it up, redo it again. That's ridiculous. Fortunately, I can re-record this, but this video is so barfed up that I fixed it twice. I cut out bad parts twice, and it screwed up in a position where I had to just cut a couple sentences out that were kind of important and just live with it because I couldn't fix it. So now I save it again, and it does the same thing at another part in the video. I go through it again, and then now I'm at the third point in this video. I've had to cut out several sentences to the point where I've lost a whole segment of the video. I think I just have to redo it at this point because it's so barfed up I can't salvage it. This time, instead of being a blank, just a blank section in the video, it's like it gets all pixelated and turns like green and pink, like digital picture corruption. So I don't know what's going on with this. Now, I have 2 of these GoPro cameras. They're the same model. And this needs to go back in the other room. The camera that I'm recording this video with right now and the memory card that I'm saving it into are old. I have had these for probably at least 2 years now, I think. And this has been a very good camera, a good memory card, and it probably has thousands of hours on it by now, which has always impressed me how long these cameras actually last, because these aren't really built for commercial duty. And I use these things all the time, hours and hours a day, every day. So I recently bought another GoPro 12 camera. This is the same model camera as was filming this video. Same model memory card. I bought the same thing, everything, so that it would be interchangeable. And this seemed like it was working fine. Well, today I recorded just by happenstance with the new camera and the new memory card. Well, I say new, they're several months old now, but I recorded with just that combination that happened to serve as, I don't keep the memory card with one or the other. They move around. And so I recorded with this combination, and it sucked. This is the worst recording day I've had in a very long time. So I thought that maybe this older GoPro camera that I've had was wearing out. Because again, it's got hundreds, probably thousands of hours on it. Maybe it's wearing out and getting some errors. But it happened today on the new camera and the new memory card. So something else is going wrong. Now, I like to write things down and make notes of things and keep records of things. Not because I enjoy the task, but because I think it's very useful for troubleshooting. And I have a document that I write down different maintenance tasks in the house. Like for instance, I installed this under cabinet lighting recently. I wrote that down in my book. I said I put under cabinet lights on the left side of the kitchen, on circuit, whatever, on whatever the date was. And I do that because now if I'm working on something else a couple days later and I find that an outlet doesn't work or a light's not working or something's messed up, I have information that says what changed between this point and previously when it was working, and then it gives me a spot to troubleshoot with. Very, very valuable. I've looked back in that book so many times and it cut my job in half trying to fix something because I realized that, you know, it was part of something else. For some stupid reason, I did not write down the first day that we had this error, and I should have, because if I knew if the error took place before or after buying this camera, I could rule out one of these cameras. But I don't know when it first happened, and I'm very mad at myself for not writing that down because I cannot, at this point, rule out the old camera. If I knew that this issue was not happening until I bought this camera and this memory card, then I would say that this camera or this memory card is defective. But I don't know. So now I have this kind of difficult troubleshooting situation where I have two cameras, two memory cards, and a problem that only shows up every couple of weeks. You know, every 20 or 30 videos, perfectly fine. Then one gets so screwed up it's useless. Well, there's, you know, what is that, 4 different permutations here available. I have to now start keeping record of which cameras I use with which memory cards and seeing where the problem goes. At this point, my vote is on this memory card in here being a piece of garbage. This is I think they designed these cameras for people with microscopic hands. Normally I can get this out a little bit faster than this. Now I can't get it out just because I'm irritated. You have to understand that I don't normally get upset about stuff like this, and I'm not that angry about it, but the level of frustration here is comparable to, say, you know, you get in your car to go to work and the car breaks down halfway there. This is my equivalent to that situation. If these cameras don't work, I can't work. I rely on these cameras to pay the bills, and they're not working properly. This is a SanDisk branded memory, the card. You're not going to be able to see it, but it's a SanDisk Extreme 512 gigabytes memory card. You know what? You might be able to see it if I turn all the lights on. And some people have told me that these cards are garbage. Reputable people have told me these cards are garbage. But I've literally used these from the beginning. I've used these since 2017, never had a problem. I have, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them in different capacities. No problems. So, I buy this new one, and it seems like around the same time, we start having problems. So, maybe I should just put this card away for a while and see if the problems stop. But then I can't use the other camera, so it's not a simple situation to troubleshoot. But we'll see if this video comes out okay. Yeah, I don't know, that's just a mess. So now I think I have to refilm that video tomorrow because that video is perfect. Needless to say, I was going to go to the store today and buy some stuff to make a nice dinner tonight, but by the time I was able to get out to the store after I finished fighting with these cameras, the store was closed. So I had to go to the local store, which is more expensive. So instead of buying what I was going to make, I decided to buy another frozen pizza. So this one, let me get out the document here. Oh gosh, I need a soda. Oh, that would have been bad. There's only one left. That was bad. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, that's that situation right there has been the day in a nutshell. I only have one more Professor in here. I better go get another. Put some more in the refrigerator. Don't want to run out of Professor Sodium. It's so cold out, there's only a couple frogs. You know, another thing I noticed in the comments box, there were some people complaining about audio clipping out. And I thought that was just because I was going too far away from the microphone transmitter. But now I wonder if that's got something to do with this potential memory card situation. If the video clips out, why can't the audio clip out too? It doesn't normally simultaneously, which is interesting, but the problem is clearly changing because it used to be black frames and now it's pink and green frames. So who the heck knows? I don't. I'll try to find out though. Okay, I've got a new carton of Professor Sodium. I love soda. Okay, here we go. This pizza cost $7.99. It was on sale for $1. It was originally $8.99. So this is a little bit cheaper than the Motor City Pizza Company that we tried a couple weeks ago. This is still more than I would expect though, because I would say the same thing about this I would the other one. I can go to the local pizza restaurant and pay $5.99 to have a pizza of the same size made fresh to order, and I'm supporting a local business. So why are these frozen pizzas so expensive? All right, let's see what the ingredients are like on this one. Ingredients: wheat flour, malted barley flour, niacin, iron thiamine monotrinate, riboflavin, folic acid, cheese, pasteurized milk, cultured pasteurized milk, cheese, cultured salt, enzymes, water, oh gosh, hope we don't drown, chicken, ground tomatoes in heavy puree, peeled and ground tomatoes, sea salt, citric acid, hot sauce, distilled vinegar, aged cayenne, red peppers, salt, water, canola oil, paprika, xanthan gum. Oh, I hate xanthan gum. Natural butter type flavor. What the heck is butter type flavor? Why can't you just put stinking butter? Garlic powder, canola oil, salt, yeast, sugar, spices, wheat, and the milk. So this is not as bad as the Motor City Pizza Company, but this is not great either. And I just don't understand, because if you make pizza like regular, you don't need all this stuff. You just need some, some flour and some yeast and a couple of spices, some cheese, tomatoes. You don't end up with all this other artificial weird stuff in there. Maybe that's in there to preserve the consistency or flavor as it freezes. I don't know. But it's kind of annoying. Alright, so it says preheat oven and baking sheet to 450 degrees. Remove pizza from packaging. Place directly on baking sheet for 15 to 20 minutes until an internal temperature of 160 degrees is reached. Remove, let stand 1 minute, slicky and enjoy. So you're telling me that I have to put a thermometer into this thing? I'm not doing that. This is what it looked like. It's the Cape Cod Cafe brand, and it's the original bar pizza, and this says grill me. Well, I'll grill it all right, but probably not in the way that it's referring to. Now this, unlike the Motor City Pizza one, this I think is probably, you can eat this in one sitting. It's very thin, it's not very heavy. Yeah, and since I haven't eaten in almost 12 hours, I'm probably going to have the whole thing. Okay, so we need a baking tray. Do I even have one of those? Oh, I know what it's talking about. It's talking about something like this. But I don't want to put it on that because those are annoying to clean. So I'm going to put it in a pan. Yeah, this is better. I want to put it in this. So we'll put this in the oven. We'll let the pan heat up for a while. And then I'll put this to 450. Let that warm up. And then we'll watch some videos tonight too. There's a handful of videos that I saw come out this week that I want to watch. There was a video that, well actually, funny enough, there was a video that Ed put out called I Got Scammed on eBay. And I almost did a Hangout video the day he put that out, and I was going to watch that video. And I wish I did, because it would have been interesting to react to that live. But I didn't. I was getting tired and I just didn't feel like it, so I didn't do it. And but I did. I go back and watch it, and that was extremely disappointing. What happened was he got scammed on eBay. Not that that's any surprise, but it wasn't a typical like buy something and it's not the way it's supposed to be described or whatever scam. It was a scam where the buyer scammed him as the seller, which is ridiculous. The scam that took place is a very common type of scam, but it's disappointing to see that a collector would do that to another collector. Very disappointing. But go to his channel and give him the watch hours for that video if you want to see what happened. It's a great watch. Horrible circumstance, but it's an interesting watch and a very interesting discussion to have afterwards. So let me switch on this television set here. Ah, there we go. Took a couple of attempts. And make sure I get the ceiling fan in the frame here. Actually, I need to move. Yo, what is up with this tripod? I had to move the camera around so you can see that's on the computer. Try to make sure that both the fan and the computer are in the frame. All right, that's pretty good. Get that plugged in so I don't have to keep playing with the batteries the whole time. I'm trying to do this in one take so that if the video is barfed up, I don't have to edit it. Because interestingly enough, if the videos are screwed up, I can do one of two things. I can just upload it raw and YouTube will take it fine. It just has the blank spots in it. Or I can put it through the Mavi video editor, which I don't think is as easy to use. And it will save it fine as well. It just has the blank spots in it. It's the iMovies, which is what I prefer to use because I think it's easiest. That's what has problems with it. When it just crashes when it gets to one of those blank spots. So if I do this in one take and it ends up having blank spots, I'm just going to upload it with the blank spots or the green and purple boxes crap or whatever it does. It's just going to be whatever it is. But anyways, yeah, kind of annoying. Is that a good picture? Yeah. I would move it closer, but it really doesn't make any difference because even if this was 2 inches from the television set, you still wouldn't be able to see what's on the screen because it's pretty much impossible to film a CRT TV. I guess I should put this other fan on too. All right, let's get this logged in here. So I saw, well, that derailed pretty quick. What I was going to say is that I saw another video.
Make your computer easier
shut
to
up.
Use. Windows will read and scan this list. Type without the keyboard.
Don't tell me what to type. What I saw, Ed put out another video about a replacement set of blades that was sent to him, which was a kind of ironic timing. You know, that's quite an extreme, stark contrast from the scam that just took place. So I wanted to watch the video of him installing those blades, and I also wanted to watch the video of I forget the channel name. Let me see if I can find it here. The channel was called, how do you call this channel? It was called, I think, Fans and Vintage 2008 or something like that. I get it back up here in a second. The individual, I forgot his name too, has purchased a bunch of these Boston Harbor fans that I've been very curious about. And oh, for heaven's sakes, tell me I gotta type all this in with the flipping on-screen keyboard. Oh boy. How do I even get that to, This computer doesn't have a keyboard. Yeah, it just doesn't. So if it really works, I just take it downstairs and plug it in somewhere else and use a different keyboard. But in here we have to use, here we go. We have to do it like this, which is pretty stupid. So we need to type, this is so stupid. We gotta type Boston. You know, actually this is a little bit easier than I thought it was gonna be. Boston Harbor ceiling fan. All right, here we go. Of course, it's all my videos that come up. Here it is. This is what I wanted. Well, this is not the video I wanted. This was the channel. It's called Fiends and Vintage 2008. And what I wanted to see was the installation of the white and polished brass builder fan, which is this one here. I wanted to see that. I'm also curious about this this carriage house too, because I think that's a pretty nice looking fan as well. And I knew that they were under production up until very recently, but I didn't realize that the polished brass one was still under production. And that's actually something I would consider buying, because I do remember those and they are nostalgic. So maybe we'll watch that one too. But we're gonna run out of time here. I think this one might carry us through the entire meal. This is over an hour long. I do have to do some cleanup in here, but not that much.
I've waited long enough to get this Boston Harbor fan in my house. I hope this is the right one. And I hope that it's not damaged in shipping.
Me too.
Starting off with this box that has way too much tape on it.
Typical.
There's tape all around the box.
What do people think, that tape is free? I don't get it. The number of packages I've received over the years that have way too much tape is like, I would say at least half of them have too much tape.
It's kind of loose in there. I hope that's not an indicator of the contents. Or I hope hopefully that's not an indicator that there's blades right underneath the box. Well, this box is not going to be used for anything. I don't think this is the same brown tape that the other box had of the fan in, but I remember the other fan that I had of this model, it was open, but the box, but the contents in there were damaged. So I'm really hoping that this is sealed and not open. Okay, the fan is going to have to be out of the picture for a brief moment. Okay. The box aside, I will rip it up later. Good news is, this looks like it is sealed. So, there's a little bit of damage there, but I don't think it's to the point where I get concerned.
So this also has the centimeters, which is interesting. It really seems like this whole lineup is just like a Canadian version that's just also sold here, which is very interesting.
And it's just one strip of clear tape. There's no tan tape over it, so that's a good sign. I hope that it is actually new, not used very good.
Or used very terrible.
Fan that I bought, it was listed as new, but it ultimately has been opened. So that was a lie. Thankfully they were able to refund me after way too long though. But I wasn't really expected to get a refund because I was expecting the same problem with eBay, greed, dishonesty, shipping damage. But it was anything but that. I got a full refund. I got the full $111 back. It was great.
Well, there's the brass irons. That's a good start.
Now we're just going to open this up and see what we have. Looks like it is the same exact model. Okay. And it looks like we have the manual, which, let's go ahead and open this up here. Make sure no pages are damaged. Not that that's really a thing of the product. I mean, it tells you how to put it together and all that, but it doesn't get assembled with the product. If they're damaged, but looks like this one is not damaged at all, so that's a good sign. And yep, the sentences make sense.
That's always a good
Pretty well made
sign.
manual. They come with 3 different languages: English, French, and Spanish. Here is the blade.
The fact that the sentence is making sense is a bar we have to clear at that point is so sad. But he's right. Half the time the sentences don't even make any sense. All right, this is still heating up here, but we should probably open the pizza and get that ready to go before it's ready, before the oven is ready.
Never been opened, so that's a good sign. I don't see a damage in the blades. There's like the white color here and a bleached oak. I think they're actually calling it pine wood or something like that. I can't remember what the name was.
As long as it's not whitewashed. Ugly silver junk.
Doesn't say on the box, but I am pretty sure it's really called pine wood. Oh, I forgot to
This
show you.
is vacuum sealed, so we'll have to slice it open with scissors.
It says the span is 2,942 CFM.
That's it?
Call a major cap on that.
That's very disappointing if that's the case.
I know that a 52-inch fan can absolutely do better than that. But anyways, it looks like it hasn't been damaged in the slightest. The date code on these is August of 2025, so
That's good, still in production.
it's much newer than the other one that I had. And here's some irons. Looks like they're all perfect, so that's good. I remember a couple of those were damaged. I can't remember if I showed those on video. I am pretty sure I didn't. Down rod. Doesn't look like that's damaged at all. Ooh, silica gel.
Delicious.
Good news is I have dinner to make still. We'll cook with that.
This is so ridiculous.
We have screws, we have the foam thing for the blades, we have wire connectors, we have other mounting hardware in here.
Here's the pizza, it looks
Here
pretty
is the
good.
switch housing cap. I think this does actually come with an integrated 3-arm light kit though. So yeah, I can try this with some different light kits on it. Here is the canopy. Pretty standard ball socket mount. There's even a knockout for the swag kit as well. That's pretty cool. Not something you see on modern ceiling fans.
I think he might have meant, I missed it, but I think he might have meant to say this, the swag kit knockout.
Here's
I had to
the
push it back a
bracket.
little bit.
That one is, looks like it's pretty good still. And 3-arm light kit. That looks perfect, no visible damage on here. And yeah, I can try this with some different light kit.
Oh, he was talking about that part, okay. No, he was, I didn't see it.
Connectors.
I was looking at something else.
Yeah, other mounting hardware in here.
Okay, we can put the pizza
Here
in
is
the oven
switch
now.
housing cap. I think this does actually come with an integrated 3-arm light kit though. So yeah, I can try this with some different light kits on it. Here is the canopy. Pretty standard ball socket mount. There's even a
No, I
knockout
was correct.
on it.
Yeah, so the canopy there has a knockout for a swag kit, not a light kit. That's, I thought he just made a mistake there, but I wasn't paying attention to the video at that time.
That's pretty cool.
That is very neat to see that all these years later.
Not something you see on modern ceiling fan canopies, that's for sure.
No, it is not.
Here's the bracket. That one looks like it's pretty good still. And a 3-arm light kit.
Okay.
Perfect. No visible
Pizza's going
damage on
in.
here. And oh, great. So we got some DEL bulbs.
Oh, great.
Although, in all seriousness, these Star bulbs were actually pretty good on the other Boston Harbor fans that I had.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Just because they're not dimmable, that's why I'm not really using them. A lot of my use cases have dimmers, so these weigh nothing and they feel like a hunk of junk, but I mean, as far as longevity, they probably are, but in terms of flicker and all that, they don't seem to be all that bad.
That doesn't make any sense to me, but I've had the same experience. The one that came with the Boston Harbor, I thought was fine. And some of the other really cheap piece of junk ones I've come across that you would think are complete trash don't have a lot of flicker and tend to be okay. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's the way it is.
And got the motor. And looks like the safety cable is uncut. That's a good sign.
It's got to be Canadian then. I'll put it to 15.
Looks like we have an undamaged motor housing.
That's
That's a
good.
good sign. The other one was damaged. Our safety cable's still there. This has a date of August of 2025, so not the newest Boston Harbor fan I had. I think the Hugger was from October of 2025.
Well, that's good. These are still under production then.
I mean, it could be newer than that, but August 2025, I find that acceptable. The other one was dated in 2024, so that's a pretty good indicator that this was in fact used. I'm talking about the other one. If you guys want to see how that other one turned out, I will leave a link in my comments box. Here's the shades. Yes, Jordan, these are actually still have these shades.
Huh. Ain't that
Very
something?
surprising because these shades are getting so-called dated at this point, so
Yeah, I'm very surprised to see that.
These shades are what
Very,
are on
very
the fan
surprised
now,
to see
but
that.
ultimately, these shades are still on the fan, so.
And you can still buy them at Lowe's still, which is
That shade
interesting.
looks good, nothing's broken. And this shade is good, nothing broken. So, yeah, looks like it's going to be a pretty good fan. Let's go ahead and install it now. Before we do any installation of any type, we are going to get rid of this stupid thing here. Hello, viewers.
Oh no! Don't interrupt myself.
There we go. I'm surprised that didn't break this time. But we're still gonna do something special with this. That's what wattage limiters deserve.
Why is there such a I mean, I understand not liking it, but why is there such a ridiculous vendetta against stinking wattage limiters?
We're gonna put a wire nut on the white wire. We're just gonna cap it off. And I'll look on the bright side. At least we don't have to cut these things if I want to use a different light with this. And then this right here will just get stripped a little bit. Okay. wire nut will go on. There we go. And again with this, I don't have to cut these things off if I want to use a different light. So now the wattage limiter nonsense is out of the way, we can proceed. Since I got a lot of views on the Hampton Bay Carriage House 2 installation, I'm going to do the same thing here. Unfortunately, I don't have any daylight. However, on the light that I have in my fan display, I have it set up so I can do it, because with this fluorescent light on, so I'll unplug this, it distorts the exposure, and that just doesn't look right. So I have this other light here, and it's a combination of different bulbs, and although I don't know if this is going to be my permanent thing, I think it is going to be at least a good temporary fix-up.
To be the fix-up.
I don't know. If there's
Classic
any way
phrase.
to make the lighting better in here, I would love to hear the feedback. So.
Well, the lighting should be from below, because lighting on top is going to cause exposure issues, and lighting next to it is not going to illuminate the part that the camera is seeing. You really want the light to be down on the bottom where the camera is.
Go ahead and get this party started. Sorry, we will not be using this dangerous canopy from Casablanca,
That's good.
because we are done testing the Panama fan in here, which I haven't made a video about it. I was spending way too much time trying to figure out the dumb touch system, and I learned that the light part of the circuit board is having a problem, so another reason why I don't like the IntelliTouch system is it's too complicated. Although when I get back from my trip, I do have a plan to fix that IntelliTouch, because I don't plan to keep that overpriced junk system.
I wouldn't either. Junk it is.
In the Casablanca Panama, not the Boston Harbor fan like we were going to be putting up. Okay, that dangerous canopy is taken down. Now we just have to take down the mounting bracket, and we shouldn't have any more risks of fans falling from the ceiling. Thankfully, the fan that we are going to be hanging up from Boston Harbor does not have the stupid hang fall through canopy. It's just a regular ball and socket mounting bracket. So it should go pretty smoothly.
That pizza's looking really good.
We shouldn't have any fiascos. This is the new mounting bracket we're going to be hooking up. Just a regular simple ball and socket bracket. Okay. One screws in, now we have the other one. Okay. Okay. And now we have two of the screws to remove. I can't remember off the top of my head what the two screws I need to remove are. I'll figure it out once I get the canopy installed. But let's go ahead and install the down rod. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the light kit on this, because this is not a hugger fan. So we can put the light on to bypass some frustration that could arise.
That's good. Always take steps to
So it has these three
make the
screws
job
in
easier.
light kit, which is good for not losing them.
I don't understand why these manufacturers put those screws in. It's very common, I've noticed. All the other screws will be in a hardware bag except those 3 screws, and you got to take them out, which is the likelihood of them getting lost during the process. And it's an extra step for the installer. Those 3 screws should just be in the hardware bag like everything else is. Oops.
It's kind of inconvenient because you have to take them out before you put the light kit on. It's more convenient just to have a bag of screws. You just put them when you are done connecting the light kit. I personally don't know what fan this fan is trying to replicate. It's gotta be something from like the 90s or something, because it's white and polished brass was a very popular finish back then. Okay, now to connect these, we have, well, I realize there's some rubber bands on there I still need to take off. There we go. And we have the white go with the white. Wait a minute, that's not the right one. There we go, this is the white. So the white will go with the white, the blue, and will go with the black. There we go. And then you have this notch right here, that's for going where the reverse switch is. There's a lot of wires in here, so it takes a little bit to get this thing in here.
That's why I got the computer. I wanted to look up how much those cost. I didn't do that at all.
Because on the ceiling you're on the ladder, and that's just not very convenient. Okay. Now we have the 3 mounting screws to install.
On Amazon, the fan is going for $120.97. And it's in stock. Has 4 5-star reviews. 4 of them are probably fake. Let's see if we can find it somewhere else. Gee, that sure is a nice looking fan for something sold today. The
And I'm tightening these.
there is a brass. So that one comes in brass, all polished brass, and white and brass. The all polished brass one is a couple cents cheaper at $120.43.
And then after I'm done putting the screws in, then I like to tighten them to 100%.
And that one seems to have the clear shades, which is interesting. And then there's the Grayton style one, which is going for $83.82, which is kind of a weird price. And that one has 16 reviews, which are 70% 5-star, 17% 4-star, and 13% 3-star. So, pretty respectable rating. And these reviews they appear to be legitimate. They look reasonable.
We're not going to discard these, but we are going to take these off.
And one of the 3-star reviews says too small. Well, the measurements listed, that's on the user, so that's a stupid review. That shouldn't even be counting against it. That's why you always have to actually read the reviews. The star rating by itself is not adequate. It doesn't tell the whole story.
And because Boston Harbor is a good quality fan brand as well, for today's standards, even for 90s standards, this brand is actually pretty good. Although no doubt are these fans more budget-oriented model, because as of right now, these things I believe cost $121 on Amazon.
Yeah, that's accurate. I just confirmed
How
it.
much it costs on the Shell website. I think Shell does charge the fan itself for cheaper, but as I said before on the other two Boston Harbor fan videos, the shipping fee, so it offsets the lower price.
I wonder if I can find this for cheaper somewhere else, but he's correct. If there's shipping charge, then it might not matter.
I would of course bought them from that website.
It's 127 this other place.
Unfortunately, have a dumb shipping fee. Unlike Amazon.
There's also this one here, the Boston Harbor 52 CASAESENWH10718993, which is like a footprint vent fan, which is very interesting to see at this day and age. And these are all very basic, probably economy grade, relatively inexpensive builder style fans, but it's just interesting the fact that you can get them in large quantities, because that's when you're working with dual and triple installs, trying to find fans that actually look nice, trying to find vintage fans and duplicates of 3 is very difficult.
For the most part.
Take a look at this pizza here.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Well, I think that it's ready.
Other than that notice. This is also 4.5 motor.
Huh.
Much like the Hugger.
That's very interesting.
This is actually 4.5 motor. They are silent, as expected. Okay, that's good. So, swing the camera up a little bit. Now we're going to get the gyro.
All right, so here's the pizza. Probably could have cooked it for a couple minutes less. No, actually, no, it's fine. It's just a little crispy on the edges there, which is fine. So it looks like it cooked up pretty well. We'll go ahead and let it sit for a little while, and then we'll try to eat it. I got my pizza cutter here. Probably no point in trying to cut it now. It's probably too liquidy. I didn't get to the edges. Logical enough because the edges are kind of square and this is circular. Duh. It's not crispy at all. I wonder if I need to put it back in for a little while. I kind of like the bottom of pizza to be a little bit crispy. And this does not seem to be crispy at all, which is probably a cooking error. Well, we'll see. What I could always do is I can put some pieces individually into the toast oven and make it a little bit crispy that way. That is an option. Yeah, I cut that too soon. It's all just kind of morphed back into one piece. Don't want to get any pizza on the stinking computer. Oh, for heaven's sakes, this is ridiculous. Okay, here's the pizza. Yeah, it's very Actually, it is kind of. It feels like it should be crispy, but it's very flimsy. Well, we'll see. Yeah, it's super flimsy. This guy is really making me want to buy some of these Boston Harbor fans. Because if I had 3 of those, I could put 3 in the living room. And I think that those brass ones would probably look very nice in there. It's a lot of money though. That's $360 for stinking fans that I don't need. Jeez, this is scorching hot still.
The way to design the canopy with this rubber thing, that's actually pretty clever because this will stop scratching against the housing. Although you would have to take that off if you want to use a flush mount, which of course I'm not going to because the airflow is way too restricted. Then we have the down rod. This is kind of short, it's about 3 inches long. Although that's longer than the Hunter down rods. Okay. So we got the 3 wires and we also have this safety cable, which is standard for Canada but not in the US.
Safety third. Kind of sounds like a bell.
Okay. Why is this not coming up? This safety cable is kind of annoying in my opinion as an American, but I do know that these are standard in Canada. For some silly reason, I might move to Canada, so I don't want to cut this safety cable. Although I am not going to use it because it's not standard in my country. Okay, I've got that stupid safety cable through now. And now we got the wires to thread through the down rod. Okay, guys, gonna get this white one to come through. That would be great. There we go. There we go. Now we got it. Now we have the pitch pin to take off. And we also have these set screws, which this particular one has 2. At least this doesn't have the stupid threads like what Hunter does. And Craftsman for that matter.
I just put one of the pieces of pizza in the toaster to kind of crisp it up a little
This rod
bit.
is half-inch as well, so.
Because this is super flimsy. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I think this is a user error.
Half-inch rod. And I don't know if you guys think of this too, but in my opinion, I feel like all ceiling fan rods should be 3/4 inch. Because for number one, that's what's sold in the store right now. You can't buy a half-inch on the computer.
Well, you used to be able to buy them from Craft Made, but I think that a lot of the finishes have been discontinued because there was a sale a while back, and some of the finishes were suspiciously cheap.
I'm sorry, in the physical store. But you can still buy longer 3/4 inch rods in the physical store.
Not good colors though, mostly all silver and white.
Just got this thing here. There's a lot of tight spaces, so we may not have the best camera angle. And I just slip the pin through the rod, and I'm tightening the screws on the down rod. Right now, okay. Alright, now our motor is completed. Okay, now we've got this fan here.
Yeah, this is not cooked properly. It's got a weird rubbery consistency to it.
And it's the right side of the screw that needs to come out.
Hopefully it gets better in the toaster.
Left side can stand, but just get loosened. There we go, that's good enough. And we have something weird's going on with this canopy. This rubber thing just got off. There we go. And the way I wired this box here is because I removed the IT switch, I didn't bother putting the original switch back, so I'm going to make it so that the fan and the light operate on the same switch. So we have the two greens, that's going to be with the green ground wire. Most cases it would be bare copper, but this is green because I put it in there. I used my dad's wiring from what he does with conduit wiring at his job. Shut that from the box. We have the white neutral wire. These wires right here are actually copper coming from the fan. It's no aluminum copper clad nonsense wire. This is nice, good quality copper wire. Really amazes me for something made today. Because we're going to be operating these on the same switch, I'm going to be tying the black and the blue together. That will be going to the black wire coming from the ceiling. Hope you guys can see that okay. Okay.
Okay, so that piece of, towards the end where the crust was, the consistency got better. Oops. Towards the end where the crust is, the consistency got better, but the inside of it is just a weird, like, rubbery kind of, like frozen food type consistency. And I wonder if that's a cooking error, because I would think if it wasn't a cooking error, it would not have been better towards the end. So I've got this other one here in the toaster oven, and we're going to heat that one up a little bit more, and let's see if this one ends up better. The flavor was not bad of that at all, but the consistency was horrible. But I think that might be a user error. I'm just going to let this brown a little bit in here. I think I didn't cook this for long enough. This is why I hate baking, because there's some magic number to get this right, and how the heck do you tell when that is?
And this connections are made. Okay. Now we have the canopy to install. Okay. Now we're just going to tighten these. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's make sure that the fan motor runs and the light runs. I don't want to be putting in nice incandescent bulbs in here, so I'm going to be using a stupid DEL to check it with. Okay, the light works. Oh, that's on updraft mode.
Oh no, it might fall.
Oh, the motor's ruined. I have to go get a new motor. Motor is working. So, that's a good sign. Alright, put the blades on. And now we have the blades to put together. And blade irons. And we need blade screws. Which are right here. And these foam thingies. So we have two sides of blades to choose from. We have the white, and I think it's called weather pine. But I'm going to use the weather pine because it does add a little bit more color.
Okay, this piece has been in the toaster for a little while longer, and it seems to have become more solidified. And it's a little bit harder on the bottom, which is what I would expect. Looks different. Let's see this one. This is scorching hot now. Let's see if this one is any better. I think that it might be better. But at this point, I cooked it for 16 minutes in here at 450. It said 15 to 20 on the box. This is well past 20 minutes total cook time at this point.
I personally like the Hamptonberry Great and 1.5 blades better because they are less monochromatic. These aren't really a gray piece of wood, but these are kind of monochromatic. But these are better looking than most blades you get today. So I do have some respect for Boston Harbor for that. And look at that. Perfect blades.
I like the tips of those blades. It's still got like the wingtip shape. That's becoming kind of scarce now, I think, today.
No stretches like the last fan was.
Those look very old school.
So, I don't know. Do I like the weather pine better or do I like this? I'm gonna go with this because the weather pine because I feel like the weather pine is a little bit more interesting. Weathered pine is not a finish I hear very often, so...
No, I don't hear that much either.
Oh no, it might go well with white and brass. Here's our screws, which our washers are already put in, so that's super convenient.
Nice to see brass hardware, not some stupid silver.
Now guys, if you guys know what fan this is trying to replicate, please let me know in the comments. The vents on this fan, top vents of the motor rather, sort of remind me of an SMC, although I highly doubt it's trying to replicate an SMC product.
Well,
maybe this is just
it probably is an SMC product, would be my guess. I would think that Boston Harbor probably sources all the fans from the same OEM. To me, that looks like the Park Avenue from the 90s. I don't think it's necessarily trying to replicate a particular model. I think it's just a design that's kind of been around for a while and is still being used to manufacture these economy grade fans at this point.
A builder fan that they made on their own.
Gosh, this is super hot now.
Because I think they tried to replicate the Litex footprint vent fan. This is what the blade looks like with the weathered pine and the brass bracket. Let's see, how does that look with that fan? Yeah, that actually looks pretty interesting. Okay. Although, me personally, I think this would be a better looking product if these blades were cane.
Of course.
Although you do have to realize the fact that not many people are going to buy it.
Yeah, at this point, you just gotta take what you can get, and this is already much better than everything else you can get.
Because cane is definitely a dated thing. If this had cane, though, this would be a 10 out of 10 fan in my opinion. Oh, I forgot to do one more step with the last blade. It's these foam thingies, which are supposed to help quiet the fan down, but
those are probably bogus.
Although this system seems to work pretty well. I see other fans with that system and that they're perfectly silent, even the cheap fans. Which tells you that the grommets from Hunter and a couple other brands that have used the grommets that are in these screws are just a gimmick.
Okay, that's a very interesting point. I agree. I think that those grommets are bogus and do nothing. And as we saw with that Ferramius fan that I had in the computer room for a while, the one that flush mount with the busted rubber flywheel, that flywheel was bogus as well because we ultimately tapped out the holes on the motor housing so we could bypass the flywheel because it broke, and that fan was completely silent. So 100%, at least in some cases, I can't say in all cases, in some cases the grommet, the rubber flywheels, all that nonsense, it serves no purpose. Which is really interesting because why would the manufacturer spend money on it if it's not necessary? Like, I don't think that it's that much of a sales gimmick to the average user. Like, the average user is not going to go to a hardware store and buy one fan over another because it has a rubber flywheel. I don't even know what the heck that means.
Same thing with the rubber flywheels that Casablanca uses. And I think there was a model from I believe Murray Fias, that used rubber flywheel.
Okay, so I just went through everything he's going to say now. This is much better now. This was not cooked all the way. That was part of our problem. I'm going to take the rest of this. Probably just going to put it back in. So this piece I put in a toaster is better. It's got a crispy crust on the bottom, which is the way I like it to be, and it's not as flimsy. It's still got a weird, kind of a weird consistency to it, and you know what this tastes like? It just tastes like day old pizza. That's kind of what this reminds me of. This is like I went to a pizza store yesterday, and I just took this out for lunch today and reheated it. This to me reminds me of reheated pizza, which is pretty much what it is. I mean, technically it's being cooked here, but it's really something that's old that we're just recooking. The flavor is pretty good. I'll give it that much. I like the flavor of it, but the consistency of the dough in the Motor City Pizza Company pizza was a lot better. And so maybe, and I thought that this might be a problem. Maybe I didn't give that Motor City Pizza Company pizza enough credit because I didn't have a baseline to compare it to, because I never had frozen pizza before. So in this one compared to the Motor City Pizza, I think the Motor City Pizza had a much better crust, but I kind of like the flavor of this one better. So like if you combine the two, you would have had a pretty good product. Not that the flavor of the Motor City Pizza one was bad, but that to me kind of was like the frozen food. Not that, you know, again, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like I went to a pizza restaurant and got a pizza. It's like, yeah, this is a pre-baked generic type flavor. This one, on the other hand, this buffalo flavor is pretty respectable, and the cheese is fine, but the consistency is more like reheated food or frozen food type of consistency. So interesting. Maybe this is more like what frozen pizzas typically are, and then the other one really is above average. I don't know. I still don't have enough of a sample to say. But I did look at the prices of them all, and the prices, none of them were that cheap. They were all within like $8 to $12. Some of them even more than that. So I guess frozen pizza is just not a cheap food. You know, I always thought, well, buy something frozen because it's cheaper, and I buy frozen vegetable because it's cheaper. But the frozen pizza, it doesn't seem like it's any cheaper. So this was one of the cheapest ones there, which is why I got it. And I mean, for being on the lower end of the scale in terms of price, if it was cooked properly, this is okay. It's not as good as the local pizzeria that's a couple of dollars less, but this also came at the convenience of being prepared in-house, not having to go out somewhere. So like the other one, there's reasons why you would take this over to go into the restaurant. I think if I cooked this properly, it would have been better, because the last inch or two of the crust is pretty reasonable. It's the inside that's got a weird consistency, and that's got to be cooking errors.
Of the Hugger fan. Jordan Yu has that fan, and I remember I saw the flywheel breaking on camera, which shows you that rubber flywheels are very dumb. If you want to use a flywheel on a ceiling fan, use a metal one.
I agree.
Not only do they last longer, but they're a lot more durable, and the fan's noise level is about the same. And quite frankly, I personally think I would see a lot more Casablanca ceiling fans if they used metal flywheels from the factory instead of the rubber.
You would, and not garbage
Because I feel like
controls.
the rubber flywheel, since the rubber rots over time, it makes a lot of those fail, and as a result, equipment gets discarded. Which,
When we get towards the end here, this last inch or two, that's pretty decent. But the inside, the center is kind of rubbery and weird. So this has some potential to be pretty respectable, but it's not cooking in my case properly. Maybe I'm using the wrong type of pan. Maybe I just didn't cook it long enough. I don't know. I don't like baking for this exact reason. Oh, come on.
which is the common problem of today. We waste, like I would say, we waste a lot of stuff. And that's a problem because it wastes a lot of resources. That's a problem. And
That is a problem.
yeah, waste a lot of money as well. And especially with Casablanca, their products are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And ironically, I mean, despite being good performers, they are like the fan brand that is most prone to failures. Like the flywheels break and the IT switches consistently break and the hang false fall through canopies. Although they did fix that problem, I think 1993. But I still don't like that system. I think it's very irritating to work with.
How do you screw up a mounting bracket? Seriously, it's a metal ball inside a socket. Why would you make the holder of the socket so small that it could potentially fall through? That's ridiculous. I like economy products. I like economy products for a reason. They're usually more reliable. When you have reliability decreases as complexity increases, and it just so happens to be that a lot of expensive products like Casablanca, this stuff is more complex than a basic fan like a Littleton, for example, where it's just a basic motor with blades. There's no stupid flywheel, there's no hang false fall through canopy, there's no electronics controls, there's like nothing to break besides maybe a capacitor every 40 years. And that's why we see so many Hampton Bay fans out there still like the Quick Connect, which is above us right now, because it's simple and it's reliable and it just plain works and there's not much to go wrong with it. And quite frankly, yes, the Casablanca might move a little bit more air, but in most cases, I think the airflow out of this Quick Connect is not far behind a lot of Casablanca models. I think Hunter was probably one of the best compromises between quality and reliability, because that was more of a higher end brand, but it was still very simple designs. However, I will say that a lot of the 90s Hunters, although I think they look very nice, they do not perform like some of the better Hampton Bay models do. I think the performance of those Hunter units from the 90s is way over exaggerated on the CFM ratings on the packages, and I just don't think that they perform as well as they claim, anywhere near. I mean, some of those units they were saying like 6, 7, 8,000 CFM. No, I don't buy that. Nowhere near that.
And yeah. Although one advantage of that system is that the electrical box isn't completely flush with the ceiling. The hang false will hide some of the imperfections. And I don't understand why a lot of fan collectors like that system, because it's not concealed hardware by any means.
I'd rather see imperfections on the ceiling than have a stupid fan fall on my head. Stinking hang false fall through nonsense.
Silly me. I forgot to put the rubber things on these blades as well. What am I doing? Okay. And I see most ceiling fan motors have the sticky side against the motor. I personally just put the sticky side against the blades because then they won't fall from the motor. Alright. Honestly, I think the weathered pine blades on this particular fan actually looks quite good. I prefer a warmer wood tone, but at least these blades are not the stinking silver. That alone I think is worth the $121 this fan is sold now. Although I got this for $114, so I did get mine slightly cheaper. Which Amazon on some products does do a other ways to buy, which I try to go for the lowest price, even if it means waiting a longer time for shipping, because I'm not entitled, I'm not impatient, I can absolutely wait.
That's good, because so many people cannot wait for
a few
anything
weeks for a
anymore.
product I absolutely don't need to show up to my house. Although there is another Boston Harbor fan that I'm really wanting. It's the bronze 42-inch hugger that kind of looks like a Littleton. That one, the lowest price possible, which I think is $79, that has the lowest shipping time, if I can recall correctly. So that, whoever the people are there on there are, I mean, I really don't know how that all works. I'm not USPS, but I kind of find that slightly baffling that the lowest price also has the lowest shipping time. And there is also no shipping fee on that. I think I'll get that fan someday and show it on video. And see what it's like to have the Littleton in bronze. I think that'll look pretty good. The bronze finish isn't exactly my favorite finish for fans. I like brass better. But I'm just glad it's not stinking silver, especially for a product like today. The silver is everything.
I hate everything being silver.
In my opinion.
It is ugly.
And sadly, I think they sell the Littleton look-alike Boston Harbor fan in stinking silver. I probably won't bother buying it because I don't like that color. The ceiling fans, there's certainly much better colors in my opinion, even if they make me pay a little extra, like polished brass. So it's really not worth spending my own hard-earned money on a silver one, because I simply think that finish is ugly. Okay. And this rubber isolator thing, which works very well for ceiling fans. There we go. All blades are attached to the irons. Now let's go to the shop. That's to get the yellow out of the picture. And now let's put the blades on.
He needs a screwdriver with a long bit. It makes it so much easier. Even though people make fun of them, they make the job so much easier. Everybody should have them.
Okay, one blade's on.
I think this pizza is almost ready. I'm going to give it another minute or two. It's just starting to brown up on the edges.
Okay. I'm going to take these other 6 screws out too. Yeah, I think that pine wood finish on the blades actually does look pretty good with the fan.
I don't know the best color rendering here, but that does look pretty decent.
I mean, I prefer a warmer oak turn. What's that word I'm trying to look for? Warmer oak tone. That's what I'm looking for. I prefer these blades to have more of like a deeper brown color, but I think this color is okay.
Yeah, when you have white involved, I don't like a dark color blade. I think the shade of that is fine in terms of lightness, but it does look like it's a little bit more gray than it used to be. It should be more of a warm tannish tone as opposed to a gray tone, but that one doesn't look as bad as some of the other blades I've seen. Alright, let's get that pizza out again. Yeah, it looks more like the way I would normally cook a pizza, a little bit of blackening on the edges. I like it to have a little crispiness to it. So I'll let this cool for a million seconds and then we'll try to eat this again. The consistency is better now. That's
So,
much better. Much
just
more
hammer it a
reasonable
little bit.
consistency now.
Like I said, these in the Terrace House too. If there's any way I can make these kind of videos any better, please let me know in the comments box. I would happily appreciate feedback. Just giving these one more turn to make sure these are snug. Okay, we're all good. Make sure that the fan blades work. I mean, we already know the motor works, but I just want to get a good guesstimate to see how much air this thing is going to move.
Motor's kind of loud. Cool startup sound. I bet Lamont would like the startup sounds.
I think it's comparable to that hugger that I tested. Yep, this is moving in 413 feet per minute on high, so
That's pretty
I'm gonna have to
reasonable.
do the CFM calculations later, but
I'll do it right now.
that's pretty comparable.
413 is respectable. Oh boy. Oh. Hurry up. Open the stinking calculator. 413 times, I think we said 14 was the number that we usually use. That's 5,780. So that's on the pretty respectable end for a 52-inch.
Comparable to that hugger that I tested also from Boston Harbor. That vibrating is just from the light, but that'll go away once I put the shades on. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get those right now. Okay, now we got these cool shades to install. yes, they are actually really cool shades. The fact that these still come with this fan, in my opinion, is quite remarkable. Because these type of shades were being seen in fans from the 80s. With the exception of the cane blades, I would say this thing does look straight out of the 80s, in my opinion. This had cane blades, I would say this definitely looks like it came straight out of the 80s. Into the 90s to some extent. I'm just going to tighten these a hair past hand tight. I know that a lot of people would say don't do that, but I haven't broken one of these shades before, so doing this, so can't be that bad to do. As long as you tighten it with a reasonable torque. I mean, don't just screw it in as hard as you could. That's definitely a no-no. But if you do it with a reasonable amount of torque, then you'll be okay. Okay. It's reasonable. And then the last shade.
Ah.
Okay. And now we'll put these DEL bulbs in here. We don't have a dimmer on this particular setup, so these DELs should work okay. Okay, let's get our pull chain fobs here and we'll be done. Get these decorative chain extensions on here, which amazingly enough, this is made of fake wood, instead of plastic, which I think is pretty cool. While it's not real wood, that is at least a step above plastic. Like most of these pole pops are. Okay, here is the, let's go ahead and see, kill that light. This is what the light looks like on this fan with these stupid DELs that it came with the box. I actually think these are halfway satisfactory bulbs, although the color is a bit funny on them. Let's plug this back in.
This pizza is taking a very long time to cool off.
Kilowatt meter as well to test the power draw on this thing. I can't remember how much power this thing draws. I think it's about 0.8 amps or 55 watts, which in that case the power factor would be really abysmal. I had to reposition the light to get a better video for the testing the fan, but I think that's pretty good for right now. This says it's supposed to draw 0.8 amps or 73 watts, so the power factor, I think it will be okay. So yeah, go ahead and show you guys the light again. Again, this is using DEL bulbs, which I think are 14 watts apiece, or I don't know. Let's see what it says on the box here. These are 9 watts apiece, so yeah, these bulbs I'm not too thrilled about the color, but they are not flickering, so I'll use them, but certainly would take CFLs over those.
Okay, so this pizza is much better now that I cooked it more. And I actually am going to keep the rest for tomorrow because it's taking me so long to eat it. I'm not hungry anymore. So I think what I would say about this pizza is that I think the flavor of this, it's not exactly like a fresh pizza either, but see, I don't know as much about buffalo sauce as I do tomato sauce. I don't know how to make buffalo sauce, whatever. Whereas I know how to make tomato sauce, and I really like tomato sauce. To me, a lot of buffalo sauces kind of taste the same. Some of them are a little different, but a lot of them are very similar. This one tastes like a lot of the other ones I've had. Pretty passable in that sense. Not unique like I got it at a local pizza restaurant, but the flavor is pretty passable. What I don't like about this one, where I think the Motor City Pizza Company pizza was better, is the crust. This crust has kind of a thick and greasy feel to it, or consistency to it, whereas the Motor City Pizza Company pizza was very light and airy. It's a really nice dough, especially for something being frozen. So now that I have a baseline for what a cheap frozen pizza is like, I think I didn't give that Motor City Pizza one enough credit. Now, if we took this topping and put it on the Motor City Pizza crust, that would be pretty good. So, no, not bad for $9. I'll eat this twice, so we're gonna call it $4.50 a meal. $4.50 eat a pizza at home. Okay, that's fine. Not the best, but you know, you get what you pay for, and you get the convenience of making it here at home, and it's easy to prepare, and this, that, and the other. It's okay. Would I get it again? Probably not, but I would get the Motor City Pizza one again if I saw it on sale. I will eat this tomorrow, though. It's good enough to, I don't want to say it's good enough. I don't waste food, even though it's gross. I'd still eat it anyways, but I'll eat this again tomorrow, and I'll enjoy it tomorrow. It's not that I don't like it. I just the crust is. I don't like greasy foods. I can't stomach them very well. And this is definitely. I mean, you can see how much oil has been left on the plate here. It's just a little too greasy for my preference. Between these two, I would take the Motor City Pizza Company. But I guess we do have to give this one maybe a little bit extra slack because I clearly did not cook it properly.
So now let's go ahead and show you guys the fan on low speed. And we're going to do a CFM rating on this. I did a CFM rating on this fan. And the ratings were very similar to what the Hugger fan that I had in antique brass. Which would make sense. It's the same blade shape, same irons. Okay, so on, let's see here if I can get a reading here with the anemometer. I need the set on. Okay, I got 118 for low speed. Yep, I got 118 for low. So that is, I believe, about 1587 if I can recall correctly. I don't have my calculator out here, so I'm just going more off memory. So they may not be 100% correct. So on low speed, this fan is drawing 23 watts and 0.2 amps. Medium. I think the RPMs here are enough to do a CFM right now. I am getting 295, so 295 times 13.4. 13.4 will be the area of this fan. I believe it was something like 3,900 CFM, which I think is pretty adequate for medium. I think it's 3,953 to be exact. And the fan is drawing 40 watts and 0.34 amps. So the power factor I think is pretty good here. And now high.
It's got real good startup sounds.
Let's go ahead and do a high CFM, although I think I did already say 413. Yep, I'm getting 413 on the anemometer. 413 times 13.4. That is something like 5,500 CFM. I believe 5,593 to be exact. Although I am going more off memory because I do not have my calculator right now. So while this performance is not a Hunter Passport or a Hunter low profile, I'm trying to think of some good fans to compare this to. This fan is not a Hunter Passport, it's not a Hunter Summer Breeze, it's not in that territory, no, but this fan I think is pretty good for $114, which is as much as I paid for this fan. So, talking about price, which I think is what a lot of people really want to know how much I spent on this fan. I spent $114 on this fan in total. So, this fan model was the one that has a dishonest Amazon listing where it was marked as new when it was really should have been titled as damaged. Which, like I said, if you guys want to see the video of that fiasco, I will very happily put it in the comments box so you guys can view it, because that was, I would call it a tragedy, but some people might find it funny, although I certainly don't find it funny with the process I had to go through. But with this fan right here this time around, I paid $114 on Amazon. I can't remember how much this fan costed in other websites. I think other websites it costed $107, which I don't think is too bad for a fan like this, judging by the fact that most ceiling fans cost well over $100 today. So I think for the looks and aesthetics, and the airflow for that matter, I think $114 is worth every penny of for this. The tulip shades, the white and polished brass, the blades are not stinking monochrome. This fan is not stinking silver.
That's good.
I think this
Those
fan
are all
is
good
well
things.
worth the money. I mean, if these blades can be cane blades, that would be the only thing I would say you can improve on this fan. If this had cane, this would be a 10 out of 10 fan in my opinion. But you also gotta give a little bit of slack as well. I mean, if this had the cane blade, very few people would buy it, because most people of today probably wouldn't want to buy a cane blade ceiling fan. This right here, I think, would be a good example of something people can buy brand new, but don't like old stuff. Like, I know a lot of people don't like to buy used equipment because, you know, you would have to fix it, you would have to replace the bearings in the fan, you would have to clean up however many decades worth of household dust. I think this would be a great product for those type of people. And the power information of this fan is 60 watts and 0.49 amps. So this fan is actually more efficient than what it's claiming to be. 28 amps, in my opinion, is not a horrible power draw for something like this. 0.5 is even better, in my opinion. That's nearly half of the electricity this fan is supposed to draw. So, this fan right here really is quite efficient. The fact that I can go online and buy as many of these as I want, I really can't get past that. That's just incredible. To be honest, when I was seeing those pictures that Jordan Yu had of that video of Boston Harbor fans, I know he was a tiny little bit skeptical that it would have these shades still. But, fun fact, Jordan Yu, this still has these shades.
I was very
And
skeptical.
it's really amazing that they still do. I think they have a full polished brass with medium oak blades, and it has the clear tulip shades. That's another one that I really want to try out. Even though the CFM rating and the shape of this fan is still going to be the same, it will be another different color. So I'm really interested to see how that one is going to turn out.
I am too. I think that's what I would get for the living room if I decide to get 3 of them.
Cut the power off. And I can't let this go to waste. We're going to be making a meal with this.
Oh my gosh.
A paper plate.
You can't make this stuff up.
Steak. And yes, I'm using the frozen stuff because I don't have any thawed out steak at the moment. I'm still going to go with this because I'm such a time crunch, I don't have time for it to thaw out. get this packaging out. The camera ran out of charge, so I had to put it on the charger. See if we can do the second stage. I think my camera's recording. Is it recording? Yep, it's recording. Okay, there we go. 2 sticks on the pan, packaging in the trash. Throw away, do not eat. More like eat, do not throw away. That's exactly what I'm about to do here.
That is ridiculous. You can't make this stuff up.
Wait a minute, why did steak seasoning come out? It's supposed to be white pellets. Maybe they changed silica gel. I don't know, and I don't care. We'll use the grill portion. Just one part of the meal. I have to make something else too to go with the steaks. I'm going to go with some leftover potatoes that are also about to go bad, but thankfully I'm going to be using them. There we go. Should be good. And now we'll cook this. We'll wait until dinner is done. I cut the steak into smaller chunks, so hopefully they will cook a lot quicker. Go with another 15 minutes on the clock. Oops, that's too much. Go with another 15 and see how we go from there. Got about 10 minutes. I'm going to check on them.
Got a noisy, stinking oven. What the heck?
Take one of these steaks out of here. See if they are done. There we go. A meal reusing silica gel. Hope you enjoyed it.
That is ridiculous. That is completely and totally ridiculous. All right, now we'll go over to Ed's video, and where is that video that I wanted? Here it is. This is the one I wanted to put.
Hello, viewers. Today,
Ed finally got new microphones, and now he doesn't sound like he's underwater anymore. Much better.
I want to unbox something that came at probably the most opportune time. And if you follow the channel, and I appreciate you guys out there, I recently posted a video on a eBay scam, and I'm still upset about the whole thing. I just feel so violated, especially potentially if someone in our fan community has committed this crime. And yeah.
And that's no exaggeration. That's exactly what happened. Somebody committed a crime. Fraud and theft are crimes.
There's some things going on behind the scenes. In that video, there's a bunch of comments. I absolutely appreciate the support. And at some point, if I can provide an update, I will. But you guys, I've gotten emails, thank you. It means a lot to me. And we are a community, right? We're a small community. And as one commenter put, why would you do this in such a small community? Because if it's figured out who you are, no one's going to have anything to do with you. And then you're on your own in the hobby. But that being said, I'm going to change the channel a little bit, so to speak, because what I have here is an act of absolutely complete kindness and generosity. And at the time of this recording, I believe tonight, the airing of the disaster, which is that P48, will air on this channel.
Oh, that's a bad one.
I've already seen it show up on Jordan Yu's channel because he was desperately trying to undo what I had done to this poor fan. And in the process, we kind of made things a little worse to a degree. I'll get to that in a minute. But meanwhile, somebody on that channel, on Jordan's channel, commented and said, I have a set of blades that you can use. They're a 4-rivet set, or 4-rivet, right? So indicative to these fans. And he also emailed me, which was great. And I don't know if he wants to be known, so that's why I know his name and I know his YouTube handle, if you will. But I should have asked you if you wanted to be named, maybe not by first and last name, but by YouTube name, if you will.
My first and last name, address, and phone number.
Anything you have going on this channel, because for sure, Eddie and I consider you a friend of the channel at this point. Just the act of kindness is overwhelming. And as I said, the timing couldn't have been better where this arrived. I literally got ripped off on Monday and got this gift on Wednesday, so it worked out pretty well. So I'm gonna unbox this, and what's really cool about this is it actually looks like there's a box fan in here, but it just shows that somebody went to a lot of care. Now I actually put this over top, I taped a piece of paper towel down, just so you don't see my address nor his address and last name and all that kind of stuff. But and if you do want to be, wow, this is really packaged in here. Do I have a razor blade down here? That may actually work better.
You need some scissors.
Dull scissors. This is going to probably be the whole video of me trying to work this open. Just looking over here, I thought I had a box cutter over here, but I don't. Let's see. No, I just have a bunch of screwdrivers. It's like the screwdrivers are multiplying. I know what's going to happen when I start shifting work to work in the garage. I'm going to be like, where are all my screwdrivers? Alright, I'm digressing. So we're going to try to avoid cutting my hand off, because then somebody would have to ship me a hand.
That's ridiculous.
You could probably see. Oh my gosh. I'll get into what happened there. And you might have seen it on Jordan's video. And again, I'm going to set this video that we're doing right now. So my video for this is going to air tonight. And what I'll do is I'll set this one to air right behind it so you can kind of in real time, because I'm already scheduled to have videos all the way out into May. So all of a sudden randomly opening this, you might be like, what is he doing? I don't remember what happened. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with how this is packaged up. So feel free to fast forward me. Maybe the Lakewood there is just getting excited that it's getting closer to being repaired. So maybe while I'm boring you with unboxing this, I could talk about what's going on with that Lakewood. So you have probably seen in the video how, like, one of the earliest attempts at using a puller, I mangled the heck out of those blades. So on my own, I tried to kind of fix it, but it didn't really work, and I couldn't get them all the way off. So brought it down to the Jordans, and I'm basically summarizing that video. And we used a heat gun. I think we used a puller for a bit, and then we used a heat gun and got them off. Right? But then it's like, okay, well, now there's some.
We used a puller. This is very important. We used a puller within reason, and then when it didn't work, we stopped and tried something else as opposed to just breaking the blade, which is what happened the first time.
So mangled, let's try to fix them. So we spent a good portion of that video trying to bend them back, and then we got to a point where they were almost tolerable, and we tried to go a little further, and then we made it worse. And it's just one of those things, if you've ever tried to do that before, like, you gotta know, it's kind of like, I don't gamble, nor does this channel condone gambling.
Or this one.
It's like what they say with gambling, you gotta know when to quit while you're ahead. and I think we were just trying to get it a little more. And then in the process, the reason why it's wobbling all over the place is the motor support at the bottom came out from the frame. So I have to drill some screws through the bottom of that and kind of bolt it back together. We're almost here. There's actually no way. There's a fan in here. Okay.
This is such a stark contrast to the other video.
What is happening here? Okay. This is interesting. Whoa, this is almost like a Christmas or something, you know? Or my birthday. My birthday's in April. Okay, all right. Let's cancel out this box. I'll keep the box because I might want to box up a fan that somebody will scam me on. Clearly, this is a Lakewood cabinet. Interesting. Whoa! This was a Lakewood cabinet with. Look at that, 2 speeds. I wonder if one was a thermostat, and if one was a just a regular, switch.
Well, duh, it's not gonna have 2 speed controls.
And this looks like it had the dome top, like that maybe, or the control panel.
Yeah, sometimes that
That would be
happens.
a wide handle. Oh, yeah.
And I've done this too. Sometimes you say something on video and you don't realize how stupid you sounded until later on and you watch the video and realize it was a ridiculous thing to say. Like having a box fan that has 2 speeds control.
Handle. I don't know. Wow, I love it. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. I am actually overwhelmed, like with positive emotions. I mean, I don't know how much you can see. As I take the tripod, it has like a rite of passage. The YouTubers and the fans world, like, let me try to use the feathers and cut these off. I'm like, I'm not an emotional guy, well, sometimes, but I am very, like, overwhelmed with just the positive and the generosity of what you have sent to us. I just can't get over it, and I mean, there needs to be more people like you, and I really should have asked if I could have name dropped you, because I think people deserve to know what.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to address this now because it needs to be addressed. There's something I don't understand. There's a lot of things I don't understand in this world, but one of the things I don't understand is when other collectors do stuff like the scam that happened to Ed, or even in the comments box. You know, sometimes all the time I get stupid, nasty comments, and I usually just cancel them out. Most of the time they come from blank troll accounts. I don't understand why you could be an internet troll, but if a stupid comments get left from an internet troll, that's at least a logical sequence of events. What I really don't understand is when you get stupid comments from other collectors. That is just beyond me, because this is a very uncommon hobby, and you might have, I don't know, a couple thousand known collectors participating in this. I understand not everybody's going to like the videos I produce. Certainly, that's to be expected. Don't expect everyone to watch them. But why would you come in here and leave nasty comments just because you don't like the way I worked or the way I did the video? Why not just don't watch it? Watch something else instead. Because ultimately what happens is when you leave the nasty comments, I'm going to look through the comments and not really be inclined to go watch your videos or talk to you. And I can guarantee that a lot of other people are going to come along and have the same reaction. So all you're doing is just cutting off the already, or reducing the already small number of people you have to talk to about the hobby. And it's the same thing that happened to Ed. There's a lot of very generous people, as we're seeing right now, in this community of collectors here. And I can almost guarantee you that had the person that did the scam gone to a meet instead and said, hey, I need some parts for this fan, somebody probably had those parts and somebody was probably willing to give them away for free. But instead, you run a scam and now no one's going to want to talk to you. And you've just completely canceled out your reputation among this community. And I just don't understand what's the point of that. And you know, it's not even like it was a rare, not that it would make it any better, but it would provide like some kind of logical explanation, a logical sequence of events. He got scammed over one of the most common fans there is, and one of the most common old fans there is. It's not like it was a rare piece that's hard to find or very valuable. It just, the whole thing makes no sense, and I just don't understand why you would do it at all. Especially not to someone like Ed, a very honest, straightforward, hardworking person. I just don't get it. It's very disappointing. The ethics of it don't change. it's wrong to do that to a large business. It's wrong to do it to a small business. It's wrong to do it in person. It's wrong to do it over the internet, etc. But when you take it to a very small community and you do it internally from one collector to another, that's just so disappointing that there's people like that lurking in here. And it's not like it's a surprise. It's a very common scam, but it's a little bit unexpected, I think, for it to happen internally. I really wouldn't see that happening, but inherently it is. So it was very disappointing to me, more so than anything else. It was just straight up disappointing. So anyways, that's that. We'll move on.
What a kind person you are. And by the way, your packaging skills are also like an A+. You really know what you're doing. Wow. This is exciting. This is really exciting. I do feel like at Christmas in my house, like everyone watching me, like, what did you get? Although I would be ever so lucky to get something like this.
Actually, before we move on, I was going to say this too. There are so many excellent people in this community. Every time something dodgy happens, you'll always see this rallying of support from all different people that come out of the woodwork. I've seen it on my channel here when I've had to post videos about things that go wrong, and we saw it again here on Ed's channel when he posted a video about this. So it's a very redeeming experience. It's just unfortunate that we have to have the lousy occurrence first. But as they say, the worst situations draw out the best in people, and it's very true. I've seen that many times over the course of my life, and we'll see that here too.
You, my friend, know how to rap. As I've been like evolving with this channel and just meeting more and more people in the hobby, and I kind of shifted, like, I used to say, oh, the reason I do this is because, I collect interesting fans and, fans that have nostalgic values to me. But I gotta say, I have met some really, really great human beings, and some of which they've allowed me to call them my friend, and I'm just forever grateful. And this individual who sent these, good human being. This is called paying it forward, meaning like you're helping somebody out. And I was just having a conversation with another good person over the weekend, and we were talking about how friends help each other out, and without even asking. And you are an example of that. I should get you to also wrap my Christmas presents. It's funny because I think I do a pretty thorough job, for the most part, with packing things up. Although I did one time box something up on camera and I got railed for it about how I did it. Whoa. That was... See, the fans are getting excited. Back there making... They're talking. I wonder if the fans talk to each other when I leave.
That's kind of a psychotic question to ask.
Away a fan and the force is unraveled. We're almost there. The fact that you sent me the cabinet, I mean, you didn't need to do that. That was just very generous. Here we have it, all its laser glory. Wow. Let's see. Look at this.
All I can say is put the puller away.
This is, I'm just so excited. Yeah, it's going to be really cool to,
And quite frankly, I'm just as glad that whoever it was sent that in, because now I don't have to try to fix the other stupid blade. That was a task I was really dreading. I was going to do it, but I was really dreading it.
to get this thing, because this fan already has a story behind it, and I'll really quickly recap it, and then this is kind of turned into like a Hangout video at this point. So
That's ironic.
So I was doing something for work. I was traveling to, I think it was like New Bedford, Massachusetts, and I was just checking out Marketplace. You know, New Bedford's not that far from here. But I typically, I try to keep a tight radius when I'm looking on Marketplace, unless it's something really, really cool. So this showed up, but the pictures were inconclusive, meaning all I could see was almost like a side angle from here down. I didn't see any of this on top, this control panel. So I just assumed it was a P23. And it was I forget what I paid for this. When I did the checkout video, I know I talked about it. So this would have been like last fall. And I want to say, it wasn't much money. And when I came up to it, and I saw this control panel on top, I saw Kmart Deluxe, I was like, whoa! Wow, did I get lucky? I've never seen one of these. Actually, I had and didn't realize it until later. I saw it on one of the groups. But so I brought it home. Like I got really, really fortunate, and they sold it. If my memory serves me correctly, it was a really low price. And I was like, this is cool.
And then I broke the blade.
Like my friends in the community, the fanning community, is the only way I really know that I have one like this. I know Jordan has one. It's like, you've seen it at his house. I think in one of the videos we compared it to his, he has a Lakewood with a control panel like this, but has a pilot light. I think his is the next one up.
Blade's not broken.
Kmart, but his is super cool too. I think his is reversible. So I was it was a cool story, it was a cool story, and I thought this is going to look so good in the sunroom. It was kind of a talking piece because it's branded Kmart and the old logo and all that stuff, the speckled like control panel stickers and all that. And
then I broke the blade.
I brought the Jordans, and that means something to me too when we do our fan comparisons. When I bring something down there and we compare something that he has, I have on camera, and it just makes a memory, right? And so that was that. And then in the video that you have seen, I was like, okay, this thing was absolutely filthy. That was the only downside. The outside of the cabinet wasn't, but the guards actually survived the dishwasher despite the guards having pieces missing from them, but the guards came out like brand new and with label intact. So I did that, and I said, okay, let's pop the blades off, and that's where I mangled the blades. And then when we tried to correct it, we broke the mount down here. So
I'll eat that part. That was my fault.
Down here, but the bones are here. The guards are serviceable and they look good intact. These blades look fantastic. He did mention, and I did spot, he did mention that there was a little scratch in it, but he's right, that shouldn't impact performance. Totally agree with him. And so I'm going to attempt to get these old ones back off again. If I have an issue, I'm just going to acquire a heat gun, which I should probably get anyway, and take them off. We'll open up the motor. We'll probably, the linings look brand new on this side. Take a look at the motor, probably open it up, probably a little varnish, and then clean the bearings. I did have another gentleman who's been commenting regularly on the videos, and I appreciate you very much. And he's been guiding me to spend a little more time cleaning the bearing. And so we're going to do that. So thanks for that tip. we'll oil the bearings manually, as oil ports, put it back together, put these blades on. Actually, before we put the blades on, we gotta, I gotta drill through, I really don't wanna drill through that cabinet to put those screws in. But we'll get it done. I'll look for the right hardware. The problem I have is with doing that, you gotta watch that you don't put anything too thick on the bottom of the cabinet from the head of the screw, or because you don't want to compromise, how it sits. So we'll do that. This is going to be a process, and it's actually not the next fan up on deck to get serviced on, or this kind of work done. I have a major backlog. Made some really good progress with the project palette here. And then, you might have seen run into a trio of 3733s for free. I have
24,000 CFM.
some, I have an Air King that I need to do something, a couple things on video with that's sitting here. And then I have, what else? It's been sitting here. Not fan related, but kind of fan related. I have 3 air purifiers that all failed pretty much within a year of one another. So we're going to try to work on it. So the project pile got out of control. But this one is going to be a special one, and I am, again, super grateful for the generosity. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, whether you want to talk to me offline or be public in the comments, let me know. And I hope we have a chance to, maybe you come to one of the fan meets, Robbie's fan meet in June, blow me away in Pennsylvania. Maybe I get a chance to see you there. But awesome. And hey, I'd be happy to buy you a meal. Well, thanks for watching, and thank you, everyone, for hanging with me and all the support during that eBay scam for that other fan. And when you have moments like this, you feel like there's redemption. And to my friend who sent these blades, if you would like the cabinet back, I'm happy to do so. But just so you know, this is not something I will discard. This cabinet, it will go into my kind of parts area, and if there's an opportunity to make something of this cabinet, whether it's restored to its former glory or make some type of Lakewood variant out of it, because I don't have a motor, but well, I had a motor until it got stolen. Sorry, that's my eBay scam reference.
I was going to say something too, but I'm keeping it to myself.
I do have a set of P223 second gen blades. If I had a motor, I might have some guards from whatever. Anyway, this could also turn into a project. So my point being is, this is not going to get discarded. This will be used if you don't want it back. And if you have any interest in these mangled up blades, I'm happy to send them to you. And if anyone out there knows how to heat these blades up, this pair, and bring them back to restore them, because I won't toss them. They'll essentially become wall art unless somebody knows how to bring them back to life. And but we will gladly use these. All right, I'm rambling now. I'm just super happy, so sometimes I ramble. I ramble if I'm not happy too. But there you have it. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and we will see you very soon.
All right, and with that, I think we're going to end this video as well. I had my meal. I cleaned up the kitchen. My curiosity on the Boston Harbor fans has been satisfied. And now I have to redo this afternoon's videos because the camera barfed it up, and I'm going to have to check this video and see how screwed up this video is, or how not screwed up it is. I have no idea what to expect. Pizza wasn't bad. I think I kind of screwed up the cooking process. Would it have been better if I cooked it differently? Probably. But I still don't know much about frozen pizzas or frozen foods in general. And I should probably just stay away from them because clearly I'm not good at making them. I'm good at making it regular, so I'll just do that, and it's probably healthier anyways. Okay, that is all for this one. Be nice to each other. Don't scam people, don't rip people off, and don't tell lies.